You know what? How hard did I laugh at Shandricka this whole episode, running around like a little dog chasing her own tail? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Kandi and the Gang. This is season 1, episode. Oh, Shandricka done took out baby, and she's finished having her conversation with Todd and Kandi, and sitting there looking like she getting ready to burst out into tears. Okay, and the truth of the matter is, she basically in her confessional she admitted to, she talked stuff, and she pretty much she gave them what they wanted. Yeah, I was talking stuff. This is kind of why I did it. I ain't really say it like that, though. Yeah, you really did. But, I mean, it was what it was. Todd told her, listen, do you feel as though your voice is not being heard, as pertains to what's going on at the restaurant and this, that, and the other? And she's like, yes. Anything at this point because she embarrassed. He said, yes. And he said, well, then, when that happens, come to us. Don't start doing this around town and talk about it. Just come to us and, we'll handle it. But this is the truth. This is the truth about it. Todd was completely over it. And this is one of the first times since we got onto this show that I really agreed with Todd. He was over it. He was over it. It couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me, not no kind of way. I would have let Miss Shandricka go. And I like her. I like her. She keeps up enough stuff. She's funny. They say she do the job real well. Okay, I got that. But no. She'd have to go. She would have had to go. It's not even about, because you're not showing loyalty. You're not showing loyalty. And just everything they're saying, oh, she's the greatest hostess. Yeah, but when it comes to the bad reviews, her name is the name that comes up. She's in the street doing this in a negative way. Grassroots marketing is the best marketing. It's the most effective marketing. Word of mouth spreads faster than anything you could ever create or pay someone to create. Word of mouth, which is free, it spreads faster than every type of advertisement that there is. And the words coming out of her mouth, all of that, she's coming across to me. She looks like a liability and not an asset. She would have had to go. I would have fired her. We wouldn't even have had the conversation, really. I'd have just told her flat out, girl, listen, I heard what you said. Here's the proof. See you. We ain't even got to discuss it. Bye, girl. Thanks for your service. It's no longer needed, honey. You've been F.I. read, honey. Bye. But it is what it is. So they said, okay, everything's cool. Moving on. Now, Brandon and Dom, let me just say this. Their storyline has gotten boring to me already. Like, I've actually, okay, we get it. We get it. I've grown tired of their storyline already. It was like, when she met the family and all of that, okay, all right, no problem. She ended up going over to his house, and why do people bring dogs to other people's houses? I've seen, people in these dogs, I don't care if the dog is little and it can fit in your purse and all that old shit. It don't matter. Why do people bring dogs, snakes, birds? Why do people bring that shit to people's house that don't have that shit? If I don't have the Lost Kingdom in here running around, why would you think it was okay for you to bring your Jurassic Park friends over to my house with you? I just think that's rude. And he didn't seem so on board. She's like, oh, I got this little pee mat. And he's like, yeah, go on and pee on us around here. That whole thing right there said, I want no goddamn dog up in here. If I wanted a dog, I'd have a dog. If I wanted a dog and had a dog, I wouldn't need you to bring yours over to my house because I'd already have my own. It's just some things you don't take with you. You enjoy them yourself when you go home. Dogs and cats are them. Don't bring no dog and no cat to nobody's damn house. I mean, because if somebody asked you, hey, why don't you bring your cable box over here? Why don't you bring your Wi-Fi converter over here? You would look at them like they was crazy. So it's just as crazy for you to be dragging your dog to their house. That's for your entertainment. No one else's. Anyway, moving on. Down off my soapbox. Boom, 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 bam, and I'm back. Okay. But that tells you exactly where I'm at with their storyline. I was more interested in the fact of why she brought the dog over his house than I was in her being at the house. I've grown tired of it. Okay, y'all like each other. They in this episode, they're together now. Now they're a couple. They're a couple. She booked a job with Rick Ross, dancing backup for Rick Ross. She's going to be leaving. She's going to be going to London for a month. Okay. What else? Yeah, like I said, they have committed to each other. Okay, we're going to be in a relationship now. Are you going to mess with anybody while I'm gone? No, I'm not. Okay. All right, cool. And like we did this in 3 different parts of the show. We don't need 3 different scenes of Dom and Brandon. It's tired now. We can move on to something else. I know somebody else got something going on. If not, put me down with the aunts. Put the aunts and Mama Joyce on and let's go. But Dom and Brandon, okay. And anyway, moving on. I'm not going to bore me with them. Let's go. And I still like them. And I hope they make it. But I just don't, until they do something. When y'all get engaged, we get y'all seen. Moving on. Brian in Georgia, which is a friend of his, is over his house. And then Shandricka comes over right after she had the conversation with Todd and Kandi. And I'm laughing because Brian is a daggone mess. He's still working his business, okay? Why is it that everybody go visit Brian make him cook? Everybody, soon as you go to visit Brian, soon as you pass the threshold, your ass is you ain't on the payroll, but you definitely are on the list of people who's over there cooking. He's teaching them how to wrap it and all that. Shandricka was like, I ain't come over here to cook. If I wanted to cook, I could have went on over there and cooked for June. Yeah, but you weren't going to get paid to cook for June. And Brian wasn't going to get paid to cook for June, for you cooking for June. Girl, you better get with the program. Brian understands the assignment, honey. Everybody come through here. We all going to multitask. We filming, we cooking, we taking orders, we making money, making it happen. And what you talk about ain't nothing but some bullshit anyway, Shandricka. Anyway, she gets over there, and then she said, the first thing she said, Shandricka, you's a messy ass. I almost walked out today. No, you didn't. No, you did not. I said, you did not almost walk out, Shandricka. Now tell the story the way it was really going down, Shandricka. You almost got walked out, but you almost walked. Girl, if you don't quit playing. I almost walked out today. No. Oh, people. I said, girl, if you don't sit down, stop playing. She brings me up to speed on what's going on. She said, I think it was Patrick. She blaming Patrick. And thus, this is you starting this like a little dog chasing your tail. You're literally running around town trying to figure out who told on you. You told on you. Well, I would love to have been a fly on the wall whenever it happened that you figured out that you told on you, that a recording of what you said is what told. It was no person that told on you. It was you who told on you with your mouth. I said, Lord have mercy. So that was that. Brian just kind of laughing at her like, yeah, okay, girl. Moving on. He talked about, him being, I'm like, shoot, it seemed like he was only suspended for 2 weeks, But it seemed like he was suspended for a really long time. But I guess that's one whole pay period. So it probably seemed longer to him than me sitting there watching. Anyway, moving on. So over at the other OLG, at the OLG2, I think is the one, they were having a meeting. Everything over there looks really nice. It's a whole different experience over at that OLG. I said, oh, wow. I said, okay, that one's together. But Philip is the overseer for all of them, and Blaze. Okay, so you have Philip, Don Juan, Kandi, and Todd. Okay, and they are talking about what's going on, like what we got going down. Basically, flat out, Philip wants Brian fired. Todd actually agrees. Kandi loves Brian. So that's just that. So Kandi fighting for Brian, okay? The whole thing, it was insubordination. You can't take it back. He did argue with him. I mean, he argued with him. So Brian is actually in the wrong. He's got his ass in between a rock and a hard place. But again, you got the best thing that you could actually have on your side, and that is Kandi Burress. So, you know, that's what they're like, okay, cool, no problem. They said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have this team building event. After that, we'll see what the atmosphere is that day, because that'll be Brian's first day back. And then we'll let Brandon's going to be put to task about stepping up and doing his job. Brandon will actually make the call of whether to keep Brian or to let Brian go, being as though he was insubordinate to Brian and Philip, but to Brandon. So they're going to let Brandon make the call. I said, oh, Brandon, okay. And let me say this, too. Let me say this. One thing I keep hearing Philip say about Brian, that from the footage that you all have shown us, I can't agree with you. They keep and Todd, they say, I get what they say. He just does what he wants to do. He does what he wants to do. He ain't following the protocol. We haven't really seen that, but okay. But then they make it sound like he ain't doing his job. I have to disagree. And let me tell y'all why. In all the scenes that we see him working. We never see him just sitting around lollygagging. When he got in trouble, it was like getting fired on your day off. He got in trouble while he was on his break. He was on his break. Other than that, we have always only seen Brian working. He's working. Now, I don't know where this issue is that they're saying that he don't do this and he do it like he won't do it. Y'all ain't show us that. Y'all ain't show us that. Y'all show us Brian doing all kind of jobs. I've seen Brian hosting. I've seen Brian kicking around ideas about the event space. I've seen Brian dealing with customers, taking orders and delivering plates, and actually working other people's sections, running up and down the steps. That's what I saw of Brian. Is it just me? Am I seeing footage that ain't nobody else seeing? Do I got a link to Bravo that I'm seeing some different footage? Because that's all I saw. I see Brian making people happy. I don't see, what job is Brian supposed to be doing that he ain't doing? All I see is it looked like the time he spent in there is spent making OLG look good, not stealing money from them, not tearing up their good name. And again, all of the good reviews, and that's been reiterated, all of the good reviews on the restaurant has Brian's names attached to them, just like all the bad reviews got Shandricka's name attached to them. But ain't nobody talking about firing Shandricka. And I see Shandricka doing everything but hosting. Everything but hosting. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Put it on down there in them comments. Anyway, moving on. So, Shandricka on her sleuthing, honey. She goes and she gonna go get Patrick and Melvin and pull them to the side. Baby, when I tell you Shandricka went over there messing around with Melvin and Patrick and got her goddamn face cracked. Baby, listen, Patrick is Kandi's baby. Okay? Patrick's Kandi's baby. Patrick gonna sit back in the cut, pay attention, and relay what he need to relay. He'll carry. He ain't learned real good yet about the reality show carry the bone thing, but he learning. That is Kandi's baby, okay? That's her god baby. But Melvin, let there be no mistake. Melvin belongs to Bertha. You understand me? Melvin sat there and listened to her before she could get real into it real good with his Patrick, honey. And Patrick was like, well, wait a minute. She's like, no, because you said so. Patrick was like, no, I ain't said no stuff like that, Shandricka. You know, I said to Kandi and them don't come over that much because they got other stuff going on. I ain't never said they don't care about the restaurant. Don't try to put that on me. I didn't do that. But I don't know what you're talking about. Melvin shut it right down. He said, so you don't know for a fact nothing about we said nothing. You just coming to us speculating, basically. Which means that this whole conversation is some bullshit. I said, little Aunt Bertha. We ain't seen Melvin do nothing. We seen him do quiet. He quiet. He keeping things moving. He's doing that kitchen, getting that kitchen going. And then as soon as a little bit of drama came, baby, he shut it down like, I said, if that ain't little Bertha, honey. So you speculate, so that means that this whole conversation that you got going on is some bullshit. Going on, Shandricka. He shut her down and sent her on her way. I fell out. I said, girl, well, that didn't go so well. I got her. And it wasn't nasty. It wasn't nasty. It was just straight to the point. He didn't disrespect her or anything like that, but it was so matter of fact and get your ass on. Bertha. You understand me? I love it. Anyway, moving on. Happy birthday to Riley. They were doing a little birthday party at the house for Riley, and everybody was there, and you seen Ace, and then we seen Blaze, and we seen Kayla. I was like, hey, everybody. Then Mama Joyce was there, and Todd, getting on folks' nerves. But they were just talking about the restaurant and, you know, what the vision is for it to pass down. So we got 4 kids. One of them is going to jump up and do something. You know, Ace said, you know, when I Ace, what you want to do when you grow up? I wanted to take care of the restaurant. I said, okay, Ace. We just love Ace. He's the little movie star. Yes, indeed. We don't watch, well, him and Blaze. We watched Blaze was, well, both of them actually. Blaze and Ace. We watched them when they were just a figment of their imagination, when they were just a playing. And then here they are. Child, reality TV. Gotta love it, honey. But I love this family. Love this family. Been watching them this whole time. You know, Kayla, look how she's come along, you know, and they sitting down as a family. Who would have ever thought it? And Mama Joyce, too. I said, check this out. It all working out. It's cool. But so that's the thing. That's what they was going through. And then Mama Joyce was pushing her agenda. She's actually right. She's actually right this time. Where she's saying, you know, that Todd don't really know the kitchen. He don't really know what it takes to make that kitchen work. And Mama Joyce said, you know, that's the thing. They were talking about everybody needs to be, if the kids are going to take over the business, they need to know the business. And everybody involved who is owning a business should know the business. And that's the truth. Any business you have, you don't create a business to work your business. You create a business to work for you. But in the beginning, you work the business and then you work it up to the point where then you have employees and then they work it and then you oversee your business as your business works for you. Nobody creates a business to completely work their business for the rest of the time. What's the point? What is the point? That's no, no, no. That's not, no. And if that's your plans, rethink it. You don't create a business to always work your business. You're not supposed to be dog tired. In the beginning, you should be dog tired. Dog tired hardly could stand up when you got your business, when you first start. But going forward, there's supposed to be a time where you could actually just sit down and watch it run. That's a business, a good business. But anyway, so Mama was saying, Todd don't know about the kitchen. He's like, no, I don't want to go to the kitchen. But this is the thing. Todd has a lot to say about the kitchen and what goes on in the kitchen, what ain't happening in the kitchen, and this, that, thing, and the other. Mama Joyce said, I think that you should come in there, and not only that, people would respect you more if you came in there one day a week. Just come one day a week and work the kitchen with them. And then that way, you'll see what's going on. And you'll have a different respect for what's going on back there. And they'll have a different respect for you. So Mama Joyce went up in that. Now I said, Mama Joyce, wait a minute, girl. Don't go backwards now. She said, you know what? That's just why I can't stand that damn Todd. And neither can nobody else in Atlanta. Can't stand his ass. I said, did I speak too soon? Did I speak too soon? I thought we was past all that. All right, Mama Joyce. Listen, she's the mama. Gotta love her, honey. Ain't nobody in Atlanta stand his ass. I said, so that's like her thing. She wanted Todd to come work in that kitchen, period. Kandi actually agreed. And so did Kayla. So did Riley. Everybody agreed. And Todd was still going on. And it is, you got too much criticism going on and not knowing what actually goes into making that thing run. So you need to do that. It'd be a good idea. So let's go on. Move on over to this OLG team building thing. It was cool. Listen, it was just a morale builder. And it worked. They did games where they had to work together to do little things, and it really worked. It worked out. Right in the beginning, Kandi pulled Brian's coattail a little bit, told him, listen, put a little bug in his ear. You build relationship with Brandon. Work with Brandon. Learn to work with Brandon. I said, girl, should put a bug in his ear, honey. Save yourself. I'm helping you to save yourself. I said, that was very cool. Kandi is totally pulling for Brian. Then they had this one little exercise. They had to do this little crawl on the floor. Child, and Mama Juice was like, I could do that. Because someone was like, I don't know if we'll be able to do that. And Aunt Nora was like, oh, y'all knees and things is going to be hurting. Mama Joyce said, oh, girl, I can do that. They was like, no, girl. Honey, Mama Joyce got right over there, laid down flat on the ground and was doing that little thing. I said, listen, I ain't mad with her. Mama Joyce, guess what? I'd have been like, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out, okay? Funny thing today is asking, there's 14 of them. And they asked, what we get if we win? It's because they're separating two separate teams. It's Kandi's team and Todd's team. Of course, they strategically chose the people for their teams to make sure they ended up with the people that all needed to work on their relationships. So, yeah. And you remember from that last meeting that they had in the last episode, Shandricka had all kind of issues with the other people that aren't stars of the show. They were there. She had issues with them. So they strategically placed everybody where they were supposed to. They knew what they were doing. But they said, yeah, we'll give $700. So whatever team will get, who wins will get $100 apiece. I was like, all right, cool. When they got all the way done, the last game they did, no big deal, was you had to blindfold yourself and pick up a tray, make the plate, and then carry it to the table where the OLG was actually sitting. It was cool. They did it. No big deal. It was all right. But what ended up happening with the time and the points, it was a tie. So that meant that the whole event was a success. And then what Kandi did was she gave out $1,400. She gave everybody $100. And wait a minute. Then one of the aunts said, I don't remember which one it was. I think I think it is Aunt Nora, but because they weren't showing them, you could just hear the sound bite. But it said, "Are we getting $100 too?" And I know Aunt Bertha was like, "I doubt it." I knew it was Aunt Bertha. You know Aunt Bertha's voice up there. Like, I doubt it. I fell out. I was like, Lord have mercy. See what I mean? I'm telling you, y'all can give me all the Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora and Mama Joyce that you want to give me, and you could take Dom and Brandon's little stuff and throw it to the side, honey. Just give me some more OLG, honey. They are hilarious on here. Do you hear me? Hilarious. Okay, last thing. Philip, Brandon, and Brian have their little double date, which is what I call it. You know, when when somebody's being reprimanded at a job, I always refer to it as a double date. When you have two managers and the employee, and if you have a decent job, you go in with somebody from the union. But anyway, I always call it a double date when you two managers and you, honey. That's a double date, baby. You get ready to be reprimanded. So they go in, and what they end up doing, it didn't go left. It really didn't go left. Brandon decided to keep Brian on. Told him, there are some rules that you have to come up to speed on that weren't here when you were here before. But, you just got to get that together. And we done put up a system of write-ups. We put that into place. So this is going to put you on one. You got one, two more, and then I'm going to have to let you go. But you got one write-up. And then when it comes to Philip owned his part of the breakdown with them two, and Brian owned his part, and then they kind of apologized to each other, and they said, let's move forward. And then we closed out with that doggone Brian. That's crazy, but I had somebody, well, Philip, I got to see something different. Like, he's laughing and different stuff when we were at the team event. Said, yeah, it was kind of like, he ain't family yet, but he's like living in the basement and paying rent. Yeah, but he ain't family yet. He can't come upstairs yet. Damn, Brian. But things are getting better with Brian and Philip. I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll be okay. I don't know about Philip and everybody else. But he was, laughing and smiling and having a good time. And yes, Philip, you should smile more. You have a beautiful smile. You're very cute when you're happy. When you mean and you nasty, child, we'd be looking at you back mean and nasty. But you're very cute when you're happy. Try to lighten up, honey. It'll be okay. Anyway, listen, that has been episode 5 of Kandi and the Gang. I'm getting ready to get on up out of here. Listen, May 1st, baby, 1 month. Well, not a whole month, but just about a month. And Real Housewives of Atlanta are back, honey. And it look like it's going to be a knockdown, drag out, good time mess, honey. So, yes, indeedy, yes, indeedy. And be watching for April 17th. The Grand Dame got her own show. Just like this, she got her own little spinoff. The Grand Dame reunion. I think it's like a little small show with just a couple episodes. But I like some old Karen Huger, honey. She the girl you love to hate. I started off, I couldn't stand Karen. But, and I'm talking Real Housewives of Potomac, for those of you who don't know. The Real House of Potomac. But the Grand Dame, Miss Karen Huger. I first used to grab my nerves. Then I was like, oh, Karen, not Karen. But yeah, she's a whole mess. She's a whole movement. So I think she will do really well on a show. Listen, we'll all get to see together because I will definitely be there. I'll definitely have my trusty pen and my pad, and I will be reviewing it. So listen, keep your eyes open for those things. Kandi and the Gang, I'll be back with y'all with the gang next week. All right, y'all. Later.